I don't know if anybody else in here, I've been going through like a really, really intense energy experience, and it feels to me like what's happening is there's a like a purging that's going on, and it feels like I'm letting go of layers of stuff that has been there, but it hasn't been fully released. But all of a sudden, energetically, like the universe is going like, "Hey, dude, it's time to get rid of this stuff." Anybody, is anybody else in here? Okay, a few of you. For those of you that are going through that, I'm going to imagine if it's anything like what I'm going through, it's not real comfortable. And yet, in the same breath, with that discomfort also comes the other side of it, which is the clarity, the power, the understanding that I don't need to keep living like this. In other words, there's a part of me, like I talked about in last week's talk, this idea of actually this part of me that's actually dying. And that's what's happening is that I believe, anyways, that from a collective standpoint, what's happening is we are starting to shift. We are starting to move. And as a result of it, there's a letting go of these different layers, not only individually, because we don't do stuff just individually, we do stuff collectively. And as I understand more and more about what's going on in the world, and I know that there's things that are so hard to look at and not understand why. I mean, it's hard to see anything, whether it's what's going on in Iran or what's going on in other places in the world. You just sit there and shake your head and you go, why? But yet there's something that goes beyond it. It goes deeper for me, and that is a really simple thought that says, my belief is that the truth is that God's there. Like there's no absence of God anywhere. So if I believe that, then I got to believe and at some level there's a reason for it. So in other words, this just isn't randomly happening, and there you go. And then when I look at it from a bigger picture, then I bring it down to my own self on an individual basis, what I understand is that just before my greatest moments of healing and clarity and power, guess what it looks like? That. That's what it looks like. And so why would it not look like that collectively? So I know that it's easy to sit there and complain and look at it and go, oh my God, we're going to wherever we're going. But I'm going to believe deeper than that. I'm going to believe that there is a plan, and I'm going to believe that plan actually has us coming together, not being ripped apart. And I think that's one of the things that I love, love, love about unity. Because unity has the audacity to believe in unity consciousness. And I just want you to think about that for a minute. The entire world, we have been taught our entire life that we are separate, that we're a bunch of individuals, that we're not connected. We've been told that. And so as a result of us being told that, we believe it. And what I'm trying to tell you, and what Unity has been trying to tell everybody, is that's one way of doing it. And if you want to continue to live that way, keep living that way. But the truth is, there is something called unity consciousness. And if we choose to focus on unity consciousness, in other words, what are the things that are bringing us together? What do we have in common? Then all of a sudden the discussion switches from, well, let's do this at each other. And instead we can actually start having a conversation about the things that we do have in common. And for unity people, what do we have in common? Oh, I don't know, the indwelling Christ. Oh, I don't know, this amazing example that Jesus gave us, where when we actually start living more of a spiritually oriented life, then all of a sudden we start to be able to shift our own lives. It's really simple. It's just you get to all of a sudden quit believing that there's this old man out in the sky who's sitting there judging every single thing that you do, every breath that you take, and you understand, no, I can actually have the most beautiful, profound, incredible, amazing relationship with this thing called God. And it's not scary. It was never, ever, ever meant to be that way. But yet we bought it, hook, line, and sinker. And so, having said that, I think it's really beautiful when you all of a sudden get a group of people, hi group of people, and whether you're here seeing us here or you're seeing us online, when we come together, we can actually focus on that part of us that connects all of us. And that's when things get really fun, because then all of a sudden, instead of, all of the separation and all the we start coming together in unity and love is such a beautiful shirt. It says more love.